dude?
What's going on? How's everyone
Oh,
doing
same.
today?
Oh, shit. We got
Scott.
Scott Gibbons on here. Robert
Robert
Phillips. What's up,
Phillips.
guys?
We'll give some a little bit of time for folks to jump on and kind of get the before we get the live started. What you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll give them. Yeah, we always give them a few minutes when we just chit chat here. What's up, Lloyd?
Yeah, how
Hopefully
you
you
guys
guys.
doing? Y'all doing some pre fishing?
Hopefully you guys been fishing more than I have. We got Fred on here.
Yeah.
Todd's on here.
Hey Todd, what's going on, man? He's on YouTube watching
Todd,
us.
Todd just joined up yesterday, right? It was yesterday.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I just got to speak with him on the phone and get him set up. So he's a fly fisherman that fishes for bass, strictly fly fisherman, which I think is awesome. I'm ready to. I want to pick his ear and figure out what he does. I could talk to him for hours trying to figure it out. I think that's interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got
Just
Scott.
imagine catching a 8 or 10 pounder on a fly rod.
Oh, I mean, there's dudes out there catching tarpon and snook on fly rods, so
Yeah, that's insane.
it's not unrealistic. We
No,
got Scott. He was at Fellsmere today. Kind of jealous I was at work.
yeah, I
Got
know. I
Will.
saw
What's
that.
up, Will?
How'd you do, Scott? What was your biggest? What's up, Jonathan? How you doing? Congratulations! I saw your post on the hooligans.
The hooligans.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of our anglers are signed up on some KFL teams. Go ahead, including our very own Sean Spears. Um, he is your newest member to the Southern Slayers. Great bunch of guys out there, that's for sure. I know the Slayers. I can't speak too much on the hooligans, other than Eric Samuels and Jonathan Ellingwood, and I think a couple of the others. I haven't really saw their full roster, but I only know a couple of them. Looks like they're gonna
Yeah,
have a. We'll let them have some fun. Hopefully, they have a good year.
cold water. So the water's cold. What's the water temperature, Scott, out at Fellsmere? I don't know. I was fishing a spot down towards my way, and the water was, what did tell you guys, like 72? I don't
Wow.
know, but I mean, I literally, I don't know if you guys were out on the water this past Saturday, but I literally got rained on 8 of
Yeah.
the like 9.5 hours I was on the water.
I
Will
went
wants to
on. I
know.
went out and free fished, and it rained Sunday. It was cold, um, and the water temp was like 62. So
It's way different. Yeah, I know we talked on the water when I was out there Saturday. Are you gonna
yeah.
go?
So Will Gresham, he said something about pre-fishing. Yeah, where is it at? Yeah,
You said
um,
Clermont Saturday.
not not Saturday. I'm gonna be hitting up a lake to kind of help me with my KBF monthly. So I'm gonna go and I'll pre-fish Clermont probably Sunday.
We got
So
Todd. What's up, Todd? Amy,
Amy,
welcome tonight. Scott,
the
get upper
hammer.
60s, low 70s. That's like the peak temperature to be out fishing. I don't, I don't know. You guys saw the photo of my girl. Like she's nice and full of eggs. So
Yeah, congrats. Sean finally went out and redeemed himself. I think that's the first big fish I've seen Sean catch since I've met him. So,
that's
um,
that's the fakest statement you've ever made.
hey, I haven't,
No, like
I couldn't catch water if it fell out of a bucket, so don't worry.
no, like I was telling Chris. I'm pretty sure I hooked her last week, and I went back to that same spot and power pulled down, and I caught like four dinks and back to back casts, and on the fifth cast she bit and gave me a run for my money. But she wasn't huge, but it was finally nice to catch a fat fish.
So
But
where's Lloyd? Lloyd is on here. I spoke to Lloyd when I was out fishing Stick Marsh about a fish that I lost. I'm gonna go try to redeem myself. Um, so see if I can get it in the boat and take a couple pictures with it.
er, where's O'Neill? He's not going to be on tonight. I think he
Yeah,
may be in the comments, but he's unable to hop on with us tonight.
yeah. So right now it'll be me and Mr. Sean Spears doing tonight's live, and we're gonna keep it kind of short and sweet for you guys because it is the holidays, right? Thanksgiving's just around the corner, and we know you guys might be spending time with your families and people from out of town. So we'll keep it short. Kind of the overview of what we're going to talk about tonight is uh, obviously December 10th, the Clermont Chain. That event registration is open. We'll talk about Fishing Chaos, some updates to the Fishing Chaos from kind of feedback that we got from the first event, and then some rules changes that we're going to be implementing based off of the conversations we had with anglers from the first event and some of their concerns. We'll go over a quick overview of or summary of those changes made to the rules. Um, and boundaries for the Clermont chain. I know Sean had already posted the boundaries via Facebook on our members only page. I went ahead and added them to the registration details for either tournament in Fishing Chaos. Um, and we'll go over them again and answer any questions you guys might have leading up to the event. And then any questions you guys have, we'll answer them. So, Sean, you want to start off with the some of the boundaries and tournament
Yeah,
stuff?
for sure. Like just like we posted a members only page, and it's up on the Clermont event on Fishing Chaos. Uh, the launches, we got Arnold Brothers Park, Waterfront Park on the southeast side of Mineola. I think it's Palatka River Park. I think we spelled it wrong on there. And from inside Louisa State Park on Lake Louisa, but the park doesn't open until 8 and has a $5 ramp fee. I don't know of any other ramps, but it's public launch only. So what you do during pre-fishing is what you do during pre-fishing, but on tournament day you're going to launch from a public launch. Just to clarify that.
The Pahalaca River boat ramp. There is a Pahalaca River boat ramp. That's a public boat ramp. It's me and Scott went
Yeah,
out of it.
between Louisa and Susan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's
there's no boat fee.
yeah, that's where I launched a year or two ago. Whenever we fished a tournament out of there, but
It's a small boat ramp, but you got a long trek if you're trying to go anywhere else from that boat ramp. So
it's not too bad. But eligible lakes, we'll cover it: Lake Louisa or Louisa, Minnehaha, Mineola, Cherry Lake, Crescent Lake, Lake Palatka, Aha, Lake Susan, Lake Winona, Lake Hiawatha, Cook Lake, Wilson Lake, Lake Lucy, and Lake Emma. I know if you go out of we talked about this the other day, Arnold Brothers ramp and head north up into, I forget what lake it is, but it takes you in the Palatka River. You obviously cannot go past that dam or lock or whatever that blockage is. That's going to be your stopping point if you decide to go up the river. You can't pull your kayak off and portage over that and keep on going up the river. That's going to be your boundary. I was pulling it up here in a sec because I don't want to give you guys any bad information. I should have been prepared, but my phone closed out.
so we just had Todd. He said waterfront park launch from boat ramp or beach. Didn't you? Did you say that earlier, Sean?
I believe so. Give me 1 second. So you go up into Emma. If you're in Lake Emma and you start going up the river, you got to stop at the dam. Is what I'm talking about. When you start heading northwest up the river. So
There's ropes across the river that have buoys on them that you can't cross anyways.
yeah, for sure. I said Arnold Brothers Park, Waterfront Park, on the southeast side of Mineola, Palatka River Park, and boat ramp. The river between Louisa and Susan, and Louisa State Park. What were you saying? Let me pull up the comments again.
You said it. It was waterfront. It's the beach
Waterfront Park.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's
That's the one that opens up at 8, right?
no. I think that's 24 hours. Waterfront Park. It's I believe it's called. You got Waterfront Park, then I think it's called Clermont Boat Ramp on Google Maps.
Oh yeah, it was.
Exactly.
They just remodeled it too. It looked like.
Yeah, I looked it up. My question was because I saw if you go on the FWC site, it makes it seem like it's closed, but on like Google comments and everything, everybody's been launching out of it within the last few months, so it appears to be open. I don't know if anybody's verified that it went out of Clermont boat ramp right
I'll
there
go
at
check it.
Waterfront
I'll
Park.
go check it out this weekend on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm not pre-fishing until I think I'm going to pre-fish December 7th, 8th, and 9th, leading into the event. But other than that, if you guys have any questions about eligible water that's not pretty clear, I think it's pretty cut and dry. The lakes you're able to fish in the canals and streams in between them, as long as you're not going and portaging over a dam or crossing any buoys like you're not supposed to be, you're fine.
I got a question, Sean. If you live on any of the bodies of water, can you launch from your backyard?
So you know what? I think we'll have to talk off to the side.
Okay.
Have a
That
side
might be a
conversation.
question because there's some anglers that might live in that area or have family that live on that area of
Yeah,
body of water. So that's just something that we can we can figure out because I know there's members that have been talking about, if they're get an Airbnb on one of the lakes. So
well, if you're in an Airbnb, it's just like I would say it's acceptable, but we'll talk about it
okay.
and
Yeah.
and clarify because I know we specify in their public launches, but it's the
Yeah.
same thing. If you're at a fish camp and say they don't just open it to the public, but you're staying there, you can use that
Yeah.
launch.
Like Richardson's Fish Camp on
Yeah, yeah.
Clermont.
So we'll probably allow it, but let me clarify with these guys, and we'll talk it over and make sure we're all on the same page. And we probably talk to our angler committee and make sure
Angler
they're
committee.
they're on board with it. And if I can probably I would understand Airbnb more so than if
In a
you have
friend's
like a
house.
friend there or something, and you want to launch out
Yeah.
their backyard. I don't know. We'll talk it over, and we'll talk with the angler committee, and we'll get you
Yeah.
guys some clarified guidance.
Yeah.
Because
That might be something that pops up because there's folks that are asking about camping and where to stay around that
oh,
area, with those lakes being primarily housing developments.
it's definitely tough trying to find camping spots because I looked and like if you want to, some of those spots they're available. Like I was looking for the 7th, 8th, 9th, and it was I could stay to 7th, but nothing was available in the 8th and 9th. So I know it's pretty hard to find sites as of like 2 months ago. But
Yeah.
I got a hotel. My family's coming up there on a Friday, I believe. So we got a place Friday
Yeah.
and Saturday. I'm going to rough it in the back of the Explorer the other 2 days. I may
Okay.
stay at Billy's house. To be honest with you, let's be truthful.
You can stay at my place. I got you. I got a bed for
But
you.
if you
Well,
guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments on
yeah.
anything you need us to clarify, and I will get that out probably. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you, Scott. I agree. We're just gonna put out the feeler. That's what I'm leaning towards. Public launch
I
only.
think public launches are what every angler should use. That's my opinion. I just wanted to ask the question because that could potentially cause some question. That's why I'd rather talk about it now than at the pre-tournament captain's meeting. So
Yeah. So
um,
so really, I'm leaning towards public launches only. But I want to make it. I don't want to make a decision by myself, obviously. So
yeah, no, yeah, we'll come to an agreement as a collective whole, and we'll err on the side of what makes it the most sense for
yeah, and
all anglers.
if
If
I
so,
was
probably
just
would
if
be
I was
Kevin.
just if I was one of you guys, I'd be like public launches. But
Yeah,
that's
we're
Sean's
listen. We're fishing the
peers.
same tournament you guys are. We're fishing alongside of you. We're gonna have to make the long treks if we're trying to go to places because there's just not that many boat ramps on these bodies of water.
Yeah, I mean, what you guys should plan for is public launches, but we'll give
Yeah,
you a for sure answer probably in the next 24 hours. But I
yeah.
think
It'll be on
that's
the members only page.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got next? Let's see.
Rules probably.
Oh, rules. You want to pull that screenshot up for you?
Yes. So real quick,
Let's.
we're going to Sean. While Sean's going to pull up this image that we're going to broadcast on for you guys to see some of the updates to the rules. Not necessarily too crazy. I think you guys seen it coming, but we wanted to wait to release them until we got everything in order and updated the rule outlines. So big rule change is the no hands on the fish has been eliminated. We are no longer requiring you to be hands free with your fish. We're going to fall in line with KBF. Um, we understand why the no hands rule was put into place, but to better align ourselves and to be, you know, in line with other tournaments. So if you're fishing our event, but also fishing another virtual event to where your fish submission can be for our event and another event. Um, One says you can have your hand on the fish, the other one doesn't. So we don't want to be that deciding factor, that factor that, oh, I don't want to fish this event because, you know, I can't have my hands on my fish. So we're going to provide you the opportunity, but a caveat to that, as Sean pulls up this photo, this is
Yeah, it's giving me a hard time right now.
that's fine. So it's in our rules. If you go on to Fishing Chaos, you can look at it a little bit better. Um, but right here, you're going to see some no touch zones, right? Your hand cannot be touching the mouth, eyes, or any part of the tail past that fin. You can't pinch the tail. Your hand can be dead center on the fish. It is to hold it in place for whatever reason. Um, or you can have no hands on the fish, and that eliminates all possibilities of getting your fish DQ'd. But those are the rules. That's one of the major rule updates. If your hand is on the fish in any of those no touch zones, your fish will be DQ'd. No questions asked. Um, that's just how it's going to go. The other update to the rule is if the fish's mouth is open, it is a half-inch deduction, right? That is something that the KBF has. Multiple other tournament or clubs have that same rule in effect. If the mouth is open, half-inch deduction. And if it is completely open, like blatantly, like it's not just cracked or it's completely open, your fish will be disqualified and DQ'd. So be mindful of that. For the first tournament, there were numerous fish submissions where their mouth, you could see the color of the bump board through the fish's mouth. That mouth is open. So that is a half-inch deduction. Um, Make an effort to make sure when you're submitting fish that your guys' fish, the mouth is closed, the tail is completely flat on the bump board or on the measuring device. Because if the tail is raised and not laying flat on the measuring device, DQ. Um, that's KBF. That's any other fishing club that you go into. They're gonna disqualify that fish. Um, so, with allowing you to have your hand on the fish, if that's the comfort that you guys need and will make it easier for fish submissions, just make sure that that adds another factor. But definitely make sure that you guys are practicing during pre-fishing how to properly take a photo of a fish.
However you fix that tail, as long as you're in that no touch area when the photo is taken, you're good to go.
Yeah, so Amy, yeah, you can pinch it to get it to make sure it's laying down, but your hand cannot be pinching the the tail in the photo when you submit it. If your hand is touching it or pinching it or pressing the tail down to make sure that it gets that extra quarter of an inch, fish is there's no half-inch deduction. It's going to be a complete DQ if your hand is in the no touch zone during the photo submission. Photos, tournament judging is not going to be Ryan, myself, or Sean, or anyone in the KBF. We actually finally got a, something set out with real tournament management or real time tournament management, which is Amanda. They do all of KBF's judging. They are going to be judging all of our fish. We hand them our rules, we hand them our boundaries, the public boat launches, everything. They have all that information. They are going to be the ones judging the fish. We don't have any play in the game. They are going to dedicate a someone in the northeast region of the United States to judge our fish, and that's going to be the person who judges our fish throughout the rest of the year. You guys have questions, you're going to be notified directly or like immediately via email or text message, that fish that you submitted was DQ'd, or something was, like, there was a deduction based off of what, the criteria you failed to meet. So there's no like waiting an hour or two to get a phone call saying, "Hey, I'm DQing your fish." No, it might take some time because there are, one judge judging the fish, but you will find out in a timely, manner if that when that fish is DQ'd and why. You'll get a reason. So take multiple photos. Make sure the mouth is closed. Your hands properly placed on the fish, and we should be good to go. Um,
Yeah.
for the
So
most, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you
Uh,
off. I thought you were
no,
done.
no, no, no. You're fine. I'm done.
Yeah, just a couple notes that popped off my head. Like with that, I know personally, I put my phone on do not disturb sometimes when I'm on the water, like if I'm fishing a tournament. But I silence certain people, like my daughter, so she doesn't call me. So just make sure you're getting those notifications, because a lot of times it comes to your email. It's like, hey, that fish was not accepted. So make sure you're turning on those notifications, and or not muting your phone completely during the tournament, just in case somebody needs to get a hold of you to correct any deficiencies in your photo submissions. But other than that, I was trying to think, with the mouth open, obviously there's some deformities on fish to get that big knot on their lip. If it creates an open mouth, it is what it is. Like, you're going to get a deduction on that
Yeah,
fish because the fish's mouth is open.
yeah,
Even if it has that deformity with that, the knots is a huge thing, on the lips. And I
yeah.
haven't caught too many, so it's not a major issue, but it happens sometimes. Uh,
It's taking that extra time to pay attention when you're out there on the water, right? It takes an extra second to make sure that the fish's mouth is closed. Take multiple pictures. With your hand being on the fish, you can actually now kind of put pressure towards the front of the bump board to keep that mouth closed. And a good rule of thumb, if you're worried about the fish jumping off, place a net in front of the bump board and kind of put your measuring device down on it and secure it. So if the fish does flop off, it'll flop off in air towards your net, so you don't lose a fish. But
yeah, for sure. And I think I've mentioned it multiple times. Like, I put my board at an angle so there's some natural downward pressure when I put the fish on the board. I wet the board down because it sometimes gets hot and they want to jump. Wet the board down, put it at an angle. You don't have to do it. Obviously, I'm in Old Town, big water, so that the incline's like huge on my boat.
yeah,
So I have to be situational aware when I'm taking my photos, so it doesn't have this weird angle. But some of you guys have lower gunnels, but that angle on the board and with your hands on the fish, it should be no huge issue. But take multiple photos if need be, and videos if you have to, if you have a
yeah,
questionable fish. So just take your time, and the photo submissions aren't going to be a huge issue. But
yeah. And with photo submissions, for those of you that registered, and are someone that pays attention to the, lines in, lines out, tournament start, tournament end times up at the front, Um, we lines in obviously is going to be 6:30. Lines out for this event in Clermont is going to be 3:30 in the afternoon. We put tournament end to be 4:30. That is the time where you need to be checked back off the water, and like safe off the water, because fishing chaos is, and I might actually change it to be 5, just so it gives you a little bit of extra time to check off the water, because at our first event we ended it line when the tournament ended, when lines out, and it wasn't allowing our folks to check back off the water safely, and or clicking that button. So that's how we're going to alleviate that, for the future events. Lines in is 6:30. Lines out is going to be 3:30. So I'll send push notifications through Fishing Chaos, the day of the tournament. So you are reminded, the pre-tournament captains meeting, you're going to be reminded again of lines in, lines out, and all of those, precautions that were taken. But those are just some of the things I wanted to give back to you guys, because those are some of the things I requested from our
and did you
folks.
did you say the 3 hours prior?
No, not yet. So yeah, launch time for these events now, except for, I think
Tenor
Tenor
Rock.
Rock is going to be our next one that's going to be limited due to the park opening at
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah. Line, or you can go underway. You can leave the boat ramp and get to your spot up to 3 hours before lines in. 3 hours before lines in. So we're giving you plenty of time to get your boat ready, get your kayak ready, and get to your spot. Any
Yeah,
questions on that?
I think that kind of goes on. Like I see Will, I see you posted public launch eliminates a lot of lakes. I understand that, but I think, like I said, we'll make that decision. But I think it's the fairest
We're giving you three
across the
hours
board to
and some
everybody
extra
is,
batteries.
yeah, 3 hours. I did it last, like Clermont. I know it's rough. I was out here last time. I ended up leaving the boat ramp at like 4 in the morning. I had to make a 2 hour run to my first spot. So other than that, if you guys have any questions on what we talked about, photos, earliest launch time, we
So
said so 6:30 lines in, so 3:30 a.m. you can depart the boat ramp and get underway on the way to your first spot during the Clermont event. Lines out is 3:30. Submissions, we set a 1 hour deadline, right, for submissions.
yeah, so you're still 3:30. You're gonna have a 1 hour deadline for fish submission. So your fish submission will be deadline is 4:30. And Robert Phillips, yes, you should be able to see the anglers that are registered. That is, I see them on my tournament dashboard. Just scroll all the way to the bottom. There's 10 anglers that are signed up for the first event as of right now. So yeah, you should be able to see that. You might need to update your app if you're not seeing it.
Yeah, it's. I just pulled it up. It's showing up.
The
So
anglers are at the
yeah,
bottom.
the anglers are. Yeah, if you scroll down the bottom, it should have all 10 of them there.
Yeah,
3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, with that, we do know that there is another tournament that's going on up in the northern. What is that? The northern part of Florida, the same day.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. On
yeah,
Panafasaki or
the Pennsauken. But yeah, we're looking forward to having you guys out there for this next event, and I want to get input from the anglers that are currently registered about what they would want to do for the post tournament meetup. If they want to go meet up at a brewery and do the award ceremony there, that's great. I would love to do that. Or if that's just a waste of time and y'all want to meet up at a boat ramp, at one of the public boat launches, we can do that as well. But I think meeting up at a brewery or some restaurant, a central location could be a better route. But we want your guys' feedback. Obviously, we don't want to set it all up and we do that and only the winners show up. We want this to be a club where, we have people turn out to those post tournament events so that we can hang out and fellowship and get to know one another on a much different level than just competitively fishing. Um, so it's all about networking and who you know. So we'd love to get to know you guys. Talk a little bit probably about fly fishing and how that is works when it comes to bass fishing. But yeah, it's just those conversations and the relationships that you build is something that we're really trying to focus on here um, with the Florida Kayak Bass Trail. So I want to become a better fisherman, and we got a ton of good anglers in this club, and I want to get some of your guys' tips and tricks.
oh, for sure. Hey, Robert, if you could look while we're on here and get on Fishing Chaos and see if you see all the anglers pop up, and we'll try and fix it if it's not
Yeah,
showing up. But it's showing up on
yeah,
my end and showing up on Bailey's end. So just
yeah.
verify for us if you can.
Yeah, and if you guys have any more questions, the rules, I'm good on our members only Facebook page and on our public Facebook profile. Underneath, there's a file section at the top of our page. You click on that files section, and it will have our new rules. Once you register for one of our events on the Fishing Chaos app, there is a rules button. You press that, it'll show our new rules. I can email them out to you guys, or I can create a post on Facebook instead of me having to email it all out, or I'll figure out a way to get it to you guys if y'all really want it. But make sure you're reading these rules and you understand these rules, because if you have an issue or your fish get DQ'd and you're like, your thing is well, it's not there in the rules and it's blatantly in the rules, that just shows us that you're not reading the rules. So make sure you understand them. You have questions or need clarification. That's what we're here for. Ask us, and we will get you the clarification that you guys need. Um,
Yeah, Michael. Hopefully, get you out there. If you just follow Bailey around, just find out what ramp he's going to be at, and just follow Bailey around and see what he's doing, and just repeat exactly what Bailey's doing on the Clermont Chain. You'll catch fish.
hey, I did pretty good.
He Bailey caught like 46 fish the other day on the
No, I
Clermont Chain.
didn't catch 46 fish. I did catch some fish, but not
He did.
46.
He did. Oh yeah, Clermont Chain's. I would like to say it's more a less complicated fishery. Just cover a lot of water and throw a Senko at boat docks and cypress trees, and should be good.
Robert Phillips said fluke.
Yeah,
Could be dangerous.
yeah. Fluke, Senko. That's all. It all works just the same.
Michael, do not follow me. You are not going to learn.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Fluke
if
on
you,
a spinning rod. Hey, that's me and David Myers is after my heart. And either that or he's making fun of me.
Michael, just reach out. I know the members on here all the time are dropping their pre-fishing and trying to link up. Like I said, I'll be out there the 7th, 8th, and 9th of December. If you want to link up, I'll be out there fishing. I'm sure Bailey will be out there more than I will leading up to the tournament.
Yeah, I live about 60 miles away, depending on which lake you choose. So I'm out there. I'm trying to learn the lake just as much as anybody. The lakes just as much as anybody else is. So it's fun. It can get windy out there. It can get rainy. So bring your cold weather gear because I was layered up this past Sunday.
What does the weather look like? Speaking of that, let's take a look at Clermont, Florida.
Mike, where are you Where are you coming from? Are you signed up? Mike's signed up on our club, right? As a member?
I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure.
I'm on my phone, so I can't look. But
I'm still trying to memorize everybody's name.
Yeah. Okay, Chris or Robert, I will link up with you. Yeah, Mike's in the club. Okay, cool. Yeah, so send us a message and I'll give you my number and we can link up and try to go fishing sometime. One of these weekends. Just promise me that you will not fish my. I'm just kidding. I will find you.
No. I mean,
No, you ain't gonna know where I'm at. I'm wearing camo. I'll be blending in with the cypress trees.
oh, you're coming from Baton Rouge. I'm jealous. Like my experience in Louisiana last year, I fell in love with Louisiana bass fishing last year.
Yeah, so Scott Corliss, sweet. Yeah. Yeah, send me a text. We'll be there.
Yeah, I will not be there. That's a like I said, my pre-fishing is going to be 3 days leading up. And I'm going to shake off everything.
Yeah, you say that.
I say that I'm going to set the hook on one. Caddo, no. Vista, no. Vista, no. Number one lake in Louisiana.
Oh, get out of here, bro.
Vista, no. By far.
Daryl, send me a message, man. We'll link up on Sunday, unless you're wanting to stay incognito out there. Let me know. We'll go fishing. Just bring an extra battery. That's all I'm gonna say. I gotta go buy one, somehow, some way. Yeah, bring an extra battery if you plan on going somewhere far. Just because the ability for us to come out and kind of retrieve you or get you could be an issue. So
if you guys are down towards Miami, I may fish down this way, but I'll take you to the secret spot, the unknown spot.
Yeah, okay. Can I say what that unknown spot is?
Nope. It's a secret. It's a secret.
How
do you plan to fish dark water?
Bailey, just tell us where you're going. I can tell you where I'm going, David. I don't care. I'm going to a body of water that is connected on both sides by a river. That is surrounded by boat docks and cypress trees. I'll hit you up later, David, and give you the information, the lowdown. You can come fish with me.
And then, like you can probably guess what I'll be throwing. It'll be a jig, a frog.
So Scott says, "How do you plan to fish dark water?" You want to know what I did on Sunday? I threw a dark bait. Can anyone guess what that bait was?
A
All day.
fluke. A fluke.
No, all
Chopper.
day. I literally just threw one bait and caught, well, two baits. I threw a jerk bait and a chopo.
Yeah. Fair enough. Conditions are going to change, and it's going to burn you, Billy. And I'm going to win the bragging rights.
So real quick, a lot of you guys have probably already fished the Clermont Chain and probably know some of its difficulties. Water is super dark, like very, 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 very dark. Which I'm not used to fishing that kind of water. Um, but they were aggressive on Sunday. At least the fish that I hooked into were small. They weren't nothing too big, but I wasn't really going after the big ones. I was going after reaction bites.
What,
So
what do you think? I don't know if you want to guess this early, but the winning length.
so I went out and caught on Sunday was 75. I think it was 75 and 3/4 was mine total inches.
Because we're what,
And
2.5 weeks away?
yeah, I'm thinking now. I need to find out if Timothy Campbell caught what he caught on. He won't tell me. I'm wondering if what he did because he caught a monster, and I'm not sure if it was on the Clermont Chain or not. But I think if you can catch four 17 inches and maybe one 19,
Todd, 94.25.
no, absolutely not, Todd. Absolutely not. And 104, 100 plus, absolutely not. I don't think it's anywhere near that. I think Robert Phillips has it hit on the head. I think 70s anywhere. I think I guessed right for Fellsmere and Stickmarsh on the nose. I guessed right. I'm
I'm
saying I say 83 1/4.
I'm going 88 3/4, and on because I'll be up there when we do our captain's meeting, and I'll give my pre-tournament guess if it changes.
Todd, if you catch 94 1/4, I am going like anybody catches. If anyone catches over 100 inches,
Dave Fields, the Chatterbait Mini. He's been watching what's his name, Mikey Balls, talking about the Mini Max Chatterbait on YouTube.
so
That's
Robert Phillips is saying crap lakes. What does that mean? Ask CM. Is CM Chris Mitchell?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No,
Hey,
I'm a huge fan of Clermont Chain. I like the
yeah.
water.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I had some fun. The two times well, no, not the first time I fished Clermont. It was brutal. But the next time I fished it, man, I've caught fish pretty much all day.
79 inches. I'm more on board with Scott Gibbons. I'm saying 88 3/4. What won it last time we were there in Florida was like 78.
It
I think
wasn't
I
a,
said.
I think the person who caught the limit.
Yeah, it was like 78 inches. I'm saying 88 3/4. Final
But
answer.
honestly, it all depends on the weather at the end of the day. Like when I was out there, it was rainy, windy, and cold,
I mean,
and they were biting. They were
oh yeah.
munching.
Oh, the bite was on fire over the weekend. I
Yeah,
caught
they
so
were
many fish.
munching. So
What?
I don't know. You find cover, you find some cypress stumps, you start pitching the chatterbait or a jig up along some of them stumps. You might be pulling out some tanks. That's all I'm saying. And there was some shad. There was a ton of shad, from what I saw out there. So
I'm gonna throw a 10XD in the deepest water I can find.
8 foot of water.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dredging that 10XD.
Get out of here.
Watch.
Chatterbait is the money though. Chatterbait. Who's blue chatterbait mini?
I I,
Okay.
I
Maybe
absolutely.
any slab knocker.
I'm just not a huge fan. I throw it a lot. I mean, I caught a
You'll
decent
catch
fish
fish.
on it this weekend, but
You'll catch fish on it. I guarantee.
I know I've caught more fish
Yeah,
on
okay.
chatterbait
All right.
than you've caught
Let's
in your
just
life.
Oh, probably. I don't fish. I don't catch fish. So hear me out. Okay, for actually, if you okay, never mind. I'm gonna post something on Fishing K or on our members only page that shows I can catch fish. First, I don't have to prove my point. But second off, whoever fishes as the chatterbait or what is there? It's the what are they called? The jackhammers. Put a jackhammer on one of your rods and put a slob knocker on the other, and tell me which one gets bit more.
I don't know. I've been throwing that slobber knocker. It does. It is a. It, I could
I'm
argue that
telling
it's better. I could argue it's better in certain
you,
aspects.
I'm not sponsored by no means, but I'm telling you right now that ever since that slob knocker, the paint is wore off of that dang thing.
Yeah, because it's connected to the head. It's not from you catching
Oh,
fish.
get out of here! I get that, but it works. That vibration that it puts off.
I do. I am a huge fan because they between the thunder cricket, the jackhammer, the slobber knocker, they all come through cover great. But I almost could argue it's a toss up between the jackhammer and the slobber knocker. The thunder cricket is number three, period, in my opinion. But
I think what might be better on the jackhammer might be the hook.
yeah, I can agree with that.
That right there alone is a I would give it that. But as far as like the ability for it to actually like start up and you're not having to like work really really hard to get it to start doing what it's supposed to be doing, I like it. So
No,
that's
but
my opinion.
hopefully you guys are all off of work already, traveling to go see your families for Thanksgiving. So
Yeah. We don't. If you guys don't have any more questions, we wanted to make this one a short, sweet, to the point. We're gonna come back on live next Tuesday. Um, we might have a guest speaker too, so that'll be in the works. So we can do a little Q&A for one of our guest speakers, and kind of change it up a little bit. Um, but yeah, barring any questions,
yeah,
that's all I got.
yeah, you guys have a great Thanksgiving holiday. Take that time off and spend time with family. Reconnect if you have to, or hopefully everybody has family close by. I know me and Bailey are going. I'm gonna invite Bailey over to my house and we're gonna Thanksgiving together.
Yeah, military. We're not too close to family, are we?
Yeah, all my
Kids is on the
family's like
opposite side
17
of the
hours
line.
away. I got a house full of kids, so
I don't have any family, so I have
yeah,
you guys.
yeah. Well, you have three dogs
I do have 3 dogs. We got our pictures taken with Santa yesterday too, by the way. I'll post that picture up on the members only page.
for sure. But
So
yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight with us. Yeah, just hit us up if you have any questions. Like that, I'll answer my phone any time of the day. So if I don't answer, normally I answer Florida phone numbers, but I get a ton of spam calls. But if it's a Florida number, I normally answer. If I don't answer, just shoot me a text. If I don't, because I don't have everybody's number saved at this point. I have a lot of you guys saved, but not everybody. But
yeah,
just hit me
and
up. You guys all
also
have my number. It's posted on the members only page. I think you get Bailey's numbers blasted on Fishing Chaos. So reach out to us anytime, me or Bailey, and we'll answer all your questions. But you guys have a good Thanksgiving holiday.
well, before we go, I'm sorry.
No,
Post
you're good.
pictures on our members only page of your Thanksgiving family. We'd like to see you guys. We'll post some pictures of ours. Post what you're doing, and share it. We'll post some stuff about some pre-fishing. Take some pictures when you're out on the water pre-fishing with folks. Take pictures. Post them to our website, or to our Facebook page, our social media platforms, and just yeah, let's make this a community, but also like a family too. So, safe travels. You have any questions, again, reach out to Sean or I. We'll take care of you. So that's all I got. And shout out to all our sponsors. So we got New Canoe, awesome. 13 Fishing, actually New Canoe. They had our little banner back there. If they just had a tournament where what had I have to follow up on that. But yeah, New Canoe is pretty legit. 13 Fishing, awesome. We're working. Sean and Ryan, we're behind the scenes working with 13 Fishing to get all you members access. For those of you that haven't, we're sorry. We don't know what is taking what has taken so long. So we reached out to them today just to clear up any confusion that may have happened. So just sit tight with us on that. We're getting you guys your discounts. Kayak cushion. Go order you a kayak cushion today. If you ain't using one, you need one. All of our discount codes are linked in our Facebook. Van Hunks, we are still doing the family day with Van Hunks. We're working it. Just we're gonna get through the holidays, and then we'll put something up and do a demo day with Van Hunks out at one of our next events. Kayak Hub, Wicked Weights, and I'll let Sean kind of finish off the rest.
I completely lost track, but I was going to give a shout out to a fellow Slayers teammate who won Bass Nation event, Georgia, on Lake Seminole over the weekend. He crushed it. I think it was 100 103, 104 inches.
104 inches.
On day 2, he had over 100 inches, so he crushed it on Sunday. So congrats!
He had like 200 and something total inches, I think.
He was just under 200, I believe, like 197. I'll have to double check, but he pulled off the W up there, so congrats to him.
Yeah.
I think he hit everybody up. 13 Fishing, Kayak Cushion, Kayak Hub, Yak Attack, Van Hunks, Amped Outdoors, Rogue Fishing, Quilco Printing, Todd for that sweet banner I got hanging on my wall so I don't forget anything. Wicked Weights. Yeah. I did order some Wicked Weights the other day, so I'm pretty stoked about those coming in. Kate doesn't know, so don't tell her. Quilco Printing and Ambassador with KBF. So appreciate all the sponsors for helping us out, making this club great. It's helping. Hopefully we can continue to grow. So I'm looking forward to this.
News too.
What's up?
Breaking news. Todd just put in the chat. Hats will be ready at the tournament on the 10th. So our hats that you ordered, we'll have them on the 10th. That's outstanding news. Thanks, Todd. Awesome. So I can rock the Florida Kayak Bass hat instead of, well, I'll still rock these too. Got to rep the sponsors.
For sure. And shout out to all the anglers in the club for sure. You guys are what's making this happen. So I appreciate all you guys' support and being involved in this club, and hopefully continues to grow.
We love you guys. And we're glad that we're glad to do this and put it on with you guys. So.
All right. You guys have a good night. Take care.
See you guys later.